Alright, so hello everybody and welcome back to the Jabba Damazo Mystery Box. I've got another collection of games for tonight, and we're gonna have some fun. Today we're gonna start with a horror game by Snow Owl. New, old, exit. I guess the new game. Adjust the brightness so that the left bar on the TV blends into the background, and center bar is hardly visible. Well, I'd have to adjust my monitor's brightness, and I don't feel like doing that right now. I'm going to go ahead and leave it as is, because it looks fine enough to me. Bedtime. Bedtime is supposed to be a happy event for a tired child. For me, it was terrifying. While some children might complain about being put to bed before they have finished watching a film or playing their favorite video game. When I was a child, nighttime was something to truly fear. Somewhere in the back of my mind, it still is. This is me. Okay, I can move around. Full of toys and stuff. Poster from a movie I got from my brother. Bunk bed, I sleep in the top. I cannot prove that what happened to me was objectively real. But I can swear that what I experienced was genuine horror. A fear which in my life, I'm glad to say, has never been equaled. I will relate to you all now as best I can what of it, make of it what you will, can't talk. But I'll be glad to just get it out off my chest. Oh. This is my father. Don't go pulling out so much stuff now, it's bedtime soon. I can't remember exactly when it started. My apprehension towards falling asleep seemed to correspond with being moved into a room of my own. This is my mother. How do you like your new room? Soon you'll be sleeping alone for the first time. Okay. Get me out of here. This is my brother's room. He told me yesterday to keep out of the room that we both had shared until then. I was 8 years old at the time, and until then I had shared a room quite happily with my older brother. As is perfectly understandable for boys 5 years my senior, my brother eventually wished for a room of his own, and as a result, I was given the room at the back of the house. As my brother was given a new bed, I was given the bunk beds which we used to share. While I was upset about sleeping on my own, I was excited at the thought of being able to sleep in the top bunk, which seemed far more adventurous to me. Alright. Bedtime. Is it Sonny Boy? What's your name? Did you say it? Alright. It's bedtime. Already? Yes, adults need their sleep, you see. You'll be sleeping alone for the first time. You excited? Yes, Mom. I guess he doesn't have much of a choice now, does he? Alright, I'm turning off the lights. Good night. Good night. I guess I can move. It's a bunk bed. I sleep in the top. Okay. Chapter 1. Cave. Chapter 1. How long is this? Well, I guess we'll see. Save? I guess. That's an interesting sight we have here. Hello. It's on the tree. I can't interact with it. That's a little funky fella up there. He looks happy. Wonder what's cooking. Did they establish that this was a dream? A cold, unwelcoming breeze comes from the bottom of the stairs. Stay here. I want to talk to this fella. Stalking is such a strong word. I prefer to think of it as more as intense research on one individual. By the way, your missing sock is under your bed. With me. Just kidding. Go down. Weird mushroom. Looks poisonous. I probably shouldn't touch it then. What was that? Some sparkly bits happening there. Can't run, but I could run in my house for some reason. Seems like a place where I'd want to run. Purple mushroom, definitely poisonous. I saw something. You can't scare me, mister. There's red liquid seeping out from the mushroom hat. And Snow Owl's RPG Maker games, they're usually short stuff, but they got some weird visuals. Last time I played one of his games was like in the RPG Maker, when it was the RPG Maker mystery box. It was like A Night at Hotel Deuce, I believe. That was a fun one. Okay. Okay, I see what I gotta do. Be nice if I could see it, though. Okay, one of these. There we go. Okay, by the way, I know Snow Owl's actually made a Yume Nikki type game, and I do plan to eventually play that. It looks good. Let us take a look. I kind of have to awkwardly hold my keyboard on my desk like this to control this game. Don't mind the sounds, like the game title says. It moves. It's referring to my keyboard. Yes, yes, I see the thing with the face. Wonder if there's anything else to see in the cave, though. Can't run. Everything's getting red. I think I should be allowed to run. And I fell. That's not good. That's not good at all. Am I fine? Am I okay? Mom, I had a bad dream! Mom! Mom, I had a bad dream. Sweetie, what's wrong? I had a bad dream. Oh, that's too bad, sweetie. I'll be up in a minute and we can eat breakfast together. Alright, hurry up. Go change your clothes and I'll be right there. Alrighty. Gonna put my big boy pants on. And so another day started. It was a day of little importance to our story. I won't bother you with the details. The one thing I remember is that even though I played with friends like I always did, I still somehow felt lonely. I didn't enter my new room until later that night. It was time to go to sleep again. Well, thanks for the green arrow. I had no idea where I was supposed to go. I guess we just wait for the darkness to overtake me. This is to simulate, you know, laying in bed for a bit until you drift off to sleep. In order to fall asleep, you have to pretend that you're falling asleep. It's weird how that works. Chapter 2, Labyrinth. Okay. Can't see this being too long. It's still probably going to be definitely short enough for the mystery box. Looks like I'm in the labyrinth. That's a smiley face. Or an unhappy face. What am I saying? Okay. Am I at the ones with smiley faces? They reset if I don't, so... Is it still... How do I go anywhere, though? What is that noise? Oh, wait, what? Okay, so I guess I'm supposed to hit them in a certain order. They're not numbered, there's just... 2 of them are unhappy faces, 2 of them are smiley faces. Well, alright, I did it. Anything there? Hi. Oh, real mature. You got me with the JPEG! Oldest trick in the book. Anna Corp. Anna Corp, what's that? I don't know. You can put the JPEG away. The longer you show me the JPEG, the less scarier it becomes. Hope you know that. A wanted poster. I am scared. I am a YouTuber. I must yell! Yell! Ventilation, maybe. The air is still stuffy, though. Poster for some concert. Looks old. Tell ya. Do you know how you conceptualize a horror game? Oh, there's something wandering down there. Now that of interest to think. You go to Google and you type in spooky face. Do I want that guy to come near me? I don't think I do. What am I looking for? Oh. Oh, there, yeah. Ignore. Nothing of interest, I think. Do I have, I can't really do anything. Kinda hard to see the threats when you, put that thing on screen like that, you know? Some kind of machinery. Guess I just wander the maze until I, Oh, no person there. I don't know if those things can even... Thank you, JPEG. Very cool. What's this? Instructions on how to use a fire extinguisher. Bum! 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 That's pretty weak, Snow Owl. I'm gonna go ahead and give you the benefit of the doubt. This is one of your earlier works. I feel like I've seen that exact face on, like, 6 different games. When you awaken from a deep sleep to something moving or stirring, it can take a few moments for you to truly understand what is happening. The fog of sleep hangs over your eyes and ears, even when lucid. Something was moving, there was no doubt about it. At first I wasn't sure what it was. Everything was dark, but almost pitch black. There was enough light creeping in from outside to outline that room. 2 thoughts appeared in my mind almost simultaneously. The first was that my parents were in bed because the rest of the house lay both in darkness and silence. The second thought turned to the noise, a noise which had obviously woken me. That was it. Bedsheets rustling in the dark and someone breathing. As if some disturbed sleeper was attempting to get all too comfortable in the bottom bunk. I lay there in disbelief, thinking that the noise was either my imagination, or perhaps just my pet cat finding somewhere comfortable to spend the night. It was then that I noticed my door, shut as it had been as I'd fallen asleep. Perhaps my mom had checked in on me and the cat had sneaked into my room then. Yeah, that must have been it. I turned to face the wall, closing my eyes in the vain hope that I could fall back asleep. As I moved, the rustling noise from underneath me ceased. I thought that I must have disturbed my cat, but quickly I realized the visitor in the bottom bunk was much less mundane than my pet trying to sleep, and much more sinister. As if alerted to and disgruntled by my presence, the disturbed sleeper began to toss and turn violently, like a child having a tantrum in their bed. I could hear the sheets twist and turn with increasing ferocity. Fear then gripped me, not like the subtle sense of unease I had experienced earlier, but now potent and terrifying. My heart raced as my eyes panicked. Scanning the almost impenetrable darkness, I let out a cry. As most young boys do, I instinctively shouted on my mother. I called her. I could hear something stir on the other side of the house, but as I began to breathe a sigh of relief that my parents were coming to save me, the bunk suddenly started to shake violently as if gripped by an earthquake, scraping against the wall. I could hear the sheets below me thrashing around as if tormented by malice. I did not want to jump down to safety as I feared the thing in the bottom bunk would reach out and grab me, pulling me into darkness, so I stayed there, white knuckles clenching my own blanket like a shroud of protection. The wait seemed like an eternity. What's wrong? Did you have a bad dream? I cried and my mother consoled me. Tears of fear, followed by relief, streamed down my face. Yet, through all of the horror and relief, I did not tell her why I was so upset. I cannot explain it, but it was as though whatever had been in that bunk would return if I even so much as spoke of it. Whether that was the truth, I do not know, but as a child I felt as if that unseen menace remained close, listening. My mother lay in the empty bunk, promising to stay there until morning. I remember the next day wanting to go anywhere, be anywhere but in that suffocating room. It was a Saturday and I played outside, quite happily with my friends. Although our house was not large, we were lucky to have a long, sloping garden in the back. We played there often, as much of it was overgrown and we could hide in the bushes, climb in the huge sycamore tree which towered above all else, and easily imagine ourselves in the throes of a grand adventure. As fun as it all was, occasionally my eye would turn to that small window in my room, ordinary, slight, and innocuous. But for me, that thin boundary was a looking glass into a strange, cold pocket of dread. Outside, the lush green surroundings of our garden filled with the smiling faces of my friends. Inside, the feeling of something in that room, watching me play, waiting for the night when I would be alone, eagerly filled with hate. It may sound strange to you, but by the time my parents ushered me back into that room for the night, I said nothing. I didn't protest, I didn't even make an excuse as to why I couldn't sleep there. I still felt this thing would be enraged if I so much as spoke of it. Another night came. Here we go. No, Chapter 3, Factorized. I do like the writing in this, but I don't know if game medium was... Could have felt like maybe they could have done a bit more with the game aspect parts of it. Like, I do like the visuals, but that JPEG was a little bit lazy. The door is firmly shut. Like, this looks cool. Right here, a huge skull. What happened? Door's firmly shut. Huge skull. Banner on a long pole. It's too old and torn to make out details. Well, whatever. Huge skull. Banner on a long pole. I'll just keep going then. Check it out, Jimmy. I got this cool, spooky idea. I'm gonna make him walk through the exact same hallway over and over. And like the 7th or 8th time, something different will happen and it'll freak him out. He's like 8 years old, man. Aren't you a little old to be haunting 8-year-olds? Nah, man, you don't tell me what to do. You don't tell me what to do. And then when he wakes up, I'm gonna be angry and like jumping around in his bed in his bottom bunk. It's gonna be hilarious. You'll all see. Man, Jimmy, you really need to think of something else to do with your afterlife. Also, the skull opens, so what's the dealio with that-io? Hey! Good old Satan's star of approval. Some kind of altar. Picture of some kind of green landscape. The picture's in too bad shape to make out any details. Alright, well, let's run around. This looks like similar assets from Rust and Blood. Some kind of machine. I guess we look around. Hello? Then I'm gonna splat the word hello in blood when he walks near me. It's gonna be hilarious. It's gonna be hilarious. I'm gonna be the coolest ghost ever. Thinking of weird ways to scare an 8-year-old. You think satanic demons would find other ways to be cool. I do like things about this, but I don't know, it's not really putting me on edge. It's probably gonna be a loud audio clip somewhere. Brace yourself for that one. Is this picture of some kind of green landscape? Seen that. Bop. Large fan circulating the stuffy air. How do I move those? Is there something I gotta interact with? Probably. Oh, there's something moving around in here. Looks almost like the lights on the runway at airports. Did I not get an opportunity to save when they put me in here? Don't see anything. Some kind of machine. Some kind of machine. Looks like something used to pour out of these. Is anything gonna occur? Can't get through those. I guess the footsteps are just fake. Those are blocking me. Squeak keyboard. Oh, come on. You can't just give me nothing to do. Check these machines already. Some kind of green landscape. Boop. Boop. Looks almost like the lights at runways. Blah, 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 blah. Ah. I don't know what to do. I think I've looked everywhere in this maze. Yuck. The maze of the YouTuber. Hitting the squeaky keyboard for this. Oh, did I miss this? Guess I did stuff. Ah! Ah! The spooky man! Keep out. Oh, hey man, how's it going? I guess I just run around and find the next thing I unlocked. Creepy mask. Bum, bum, bum. Oh no! Spooky noise! Spooky face! The spookies are coming for me. Could you move it along, sir? Bum. It smiled. Yeah, you done. I guess you are. And then blood started pouring out. Whoa! It's creepy. Extra creepy. What do you do with there? Yeah, that one's still blocked off. This is not. Hey! Flesh pile. Oh no. Did I anger the flesh pile? Guess I did. Where do I even look anymore? Creepy mask is gone. And I'm about to yawn. Ugh. What else is there? There we go. I don't know what I did. Oh no! Metal as fuck. It's funny how certain words can remain hidden from your mind, no matter how blatant or obvious they are. One word came to me that night, lying there in the darkness, alone, frightened, aware of a rotten change in atmosphere. A thickening of the air as if something had displaced it. As I heard the first casual twists of the bedsheets below, the first anxious increase of my heartbeat at the realization that something was once again in the bottom bunk. That word. A word which had been sent into exile, filtered up through my consciousness, breaking free of all repression, gasping for air, screaming, etching and carving itself into my mind. Ghost! Zoinks! As this thought came to me, I noticed that my unwelcome visitor had ceased moving. The bed sheets lay calm and dormant, but they had been replaced by something far more hideous. Slow, rhythmic, rasping breath heaved and escaped from the thing below. I can imagine its chest rising and falling with each sordid, wheezing, and garbled breath. I shuddered and hoped beyond all hope that it would leave without occurrence. The house lay, as it had the previous night, in a thick blanket of darkness. Silence prevailed, all but for the perverted breath of my as-yet unseen bunkmate. I lay there terrified. I just wanted this thing to go, to leave me alone. What did it want? Then something unmistakably chilling transpired. It moved. It moved in a way different from before. When it threw itself around in the bottom bunk, it seemed unrestrained, without purpose, almost animalistic. For that thing lying there in the darkness, the thing which seemed intent on terrorizing a young boy, calmly and nonchalantly sat up. Its labored breathing had become louder. Now only a mattress and a few flimsy wooden slats separated my body from the unearthly breath below. I lay there, my eyes filled with tears, a fear which mere words cannot relate to you or anyone else coursed through my veins. I would not have believed that this fear could have been heightened, but I was so wrong. I imagined what this thing would look like, sitting there listening from below my mattress, hoping to catch the slightest hint that I was awake. Imagination then turned to an unnerving reality. It began to touch the wooden slats which my mattress sat on. It seemed to caress them carefully, running what I imagined to be fingers and hands across the surface of the wood. Then, with great force, it protruded angrily between two slats into the mattress. Even though the padding, it felt as though someone had viciously stuck their fingers into my side. I let out an almighty cry in the wheezing shaking, and moving thing in the bunk below replied in kind by violently vibrating the bunk as it had done the night before. Small flakes of paint powdered onto my blanket from the wall as the frame and bed scraped along it backwards and forwards. Once again I was bathed in light, and there stood my mother, loving, caring as she always was, with a comforting hug and calming words which eventually subdued my hysteria. Of course she asked what was wrong, but I could not say. I dared not say. I simply said one word over and over and over again. Nightmare. Did you now? This pattern of events continued for weeks, if not months. Night after night, I would awaken to the sound of rustling sheets. Each time I would scream so as not to provide this abomination with time to prod and feel for me. With each cry, the bed would shake violently, stopping with the arrival of my mother, who would spend the rest of the night in the bottom bunk, seemingly unaware of the sinister force torturing her son nightly. Along the way, I managed to feign illness a few times and come up with other less than truthful reasons for sleeping in my parents' bed. But more often than not, I would be alone for the first few hours of each night in that place. The room where light from outside did not sit right. Alone with that thing. With time, you become desensitized to almost anything, no matter how horrific. I had come to realize that for whatever reason, this thing could not harm me when my mother was present. I'm sure the same would have been said for my father, but as long as he was but loving as he was, waking him from sleep was almost impossible. Waking me, on the other hand, was no trouble at all, thanks to the nightmares. Oh, goody. And then... Chapter 4, Anger Overload. Yeah, well, we're already over the half-hour mark. Let's keep going. Save? Yeah, sure. Doesn't seem like there's anything that can actually kill me in this game. The painted glass depicts some religious man, I guess. Hooks hang from a wall, a piece of meat that hangs to dry from it. That's good. Earthquake. What did that say? Painted glass depicts a scene from the Bible. There was, like, words there. Hi, spider. Ooh. Funny faces all over the wall. Another one. I guess I should move forward. Well, that's a cool shot. Or background, I should say. It's a big pool, but I'd rather not use it. I feel like I've seen this somewhere before, though. I feel like some of the visuals are kind of wasted on this game, because I feel like I could do a bit more with some things. Its gameplay isn't really the best. It's kind of just like a haunted house on rails sort of thing. This looks cool. I kind of like how they changed things up here, though. I guess I can't move. I'm gonna die. This part's kind of cool. Ooh, ooh. Not like that. Kind of weird that this game also had a JPEG face of all things. Oh, hey! Speaking of faces. Hi. See, that's creepy. Now, see, this I like. supposed to do something to them? Okay, just walk on the top row? Or I just keep walking forward? The noise seems to pick up as I continue. Oh, baby noises. That's exactly what I want to hear. The babies. They make the spooks. Babies crying make spooks. Oh, hey, babies. Bye, babies. Oh, no, who saw that coming? Oh, no! On the left, there's babies. And on the right, babies. Babies. Oh, no. There's the mom. My greatest fears were realized in the winter. The days grew short, and the longer nights merely provided this wretch with more opportunities. It was a difficult time for my family. My grandmother, a wonderfully kind and gentle woman, had deteriorated greatly since the death of my grandfather. My mother was trying her best to keep her in the community as long as possible. However, dementia is a cruel and degenerative illness, robbing a person of their memories one day at a time. Soon she recognized none of us, and it became clear that she would need to be moved from her house to a nursing home. Before she could be moved, my grandmother had a particularly difficult few nights, and my mother decided that she would stay with her. As much as I loved my grandmother and felt nothing but anguish at her illness, to this day I feel guilty that my first thoughts were not of her, but of what my nightly visitor may do should it become aware of my mother's absence, her presence being the one thing which I was sure was protecting me from the full horror of this thing's reach. I rushed home from school that day and immediately wrenched the bed sheets and mattress from the lower bunk, removing all the slats and replacing an old desk. A chest of drawers, some chairs which were kept in a cupboard where the bottom bunk used to be. I told my father I was making an office, which he found adorable, but I would be damned if I'd give that thing a place to sleep for one more night. As darkness approached, I lay there knowing my mother was not in the house. I did not know what to do. My only impulse was to sneak into her jewelry box and take a small family crucifix, which I had seen there before. While my family were not very religious, at that age I still believed in God and hoped that somehow this would protect me. Although fearful and anxious, while gripping the crucifix under my pillow tightly in one hand, sleep eventually came, and as I drifted off to the dream, I hoped that I would awaken in the morning without incidents. Unfortunately, that night was the most terrifying of all. All right. And what happens, mister? Chapter 5, Urban Explorer. Oh, this is going to be a big chunk of this episode, ain't it? Hey, creepy stuff. Save? Sure. A bunch of school books. Stacks of notebooks. The feeling that something's invading your privacy, even without ill will, is still disturbing. Hey, let's follow it. Climbing down the stairs. There's not really much to like collecting items or anything. It's really just go forward the game. Which, you know, can be fine, but I feel like they could have a bit of a missed opportunity for some things in this game. Whoa! I can't tell if that's screams in the background or if someone's filming a porno. Ugh. Hey guys. I'm totally old enough to be on the set, I promise. What's going on? Yo, what you doing, little Timmy? Bum bum. What y'all doing there? Ugh. Ugh. Let's see, yeah, I like this. I feel like the weakest part of this game was its beginning, which is usually the opposite for horrors. Whoa! That's not so good. Hard to really call these chapters, though. I guess that's the name, more like Name of the Dreams. You're awfully quiet nowadays. Is something wrong, son? Nothing. Are you sure? Is something wrong with your new room? Are you lonely without your brother? No. All right, then. That's not good. That's not good at all. I woke gradually. The room, once again, dark. As my eyes adjusted, I could gradually make out the window and the door and the walls, some toys and a shelf. Even to this day, I shudder to think of it, but there was no noise. No rustling of the sheets. No movement at all. The room felt lifeless. Lifeless, yet not empty. The nightly visitor, that unwelcome, wheezing, hate-filled thing which had terrorized me night after night, was not in the bottom bunk. It was in my bed. I opened my mouth to scream, but nothing came out. Utter terror had shaken the very sound from my voice. I lay motionless. I could not scream. I did not want to let it know I was awake. I had not yet seen it. I could only feel it. It was obscured under my blanket. I could see its outline, and I could feel its presence, but I dared not to look. The weight of it pressed down on top of me, a sensation I will never forget. When I say that hours passed, I do not exaggerate. Laying there motionless in the darkness, I was every bit a scared and frightened young boy. If it had been during the summer months, it would have been light by then. But the grasp of winter is long and unrelenting, and I knew it would be hours before sunrise. A sunrise which I yearned for. I was a timid child by nature, but I reached a breaking point. A moment where I could wait no more, where I could survive under this intimately deviant abomination no longer. Fear can sometimes wear you out, make you threadbare, a shell of nerves leaving only the slightest trace of you behind. I had to get out of that bed. Then I remembered the crucifix. My hand still lay underneath the pillow, but it was empty. I slowly moved my wrist around to find it, minimizing as best I could the sound and vibrations caused, but it could not be found. I had either knocked it off the top bunk, or it had, I could not even bear to think of it, been taken from my hand. Without the crucifix, I lost any sense of hope. Even at such a young age, you can be acutely aware of what death is, and intensely frightened of it. I knew I was going to die in that bed if I lay there, dormant, passive, doing nothing. I had to leave that room behind, but how? Should I leap from the bed and hope to make it to the door? What if it is faster than me? Or should I slowly slip out of the top bunk, hoping not to disturb my uncanny bedfellow? Realizing that it had not stirred when I moved, trying to find the crucifix, I began to have the strangest of thoughts. That doesn't sound fun. Chapter 6, The Abyss. Man, at this rate, I think I'm just gonna upload this as a one-off. It's just... save, yeah. This is I think this is too long to put in the mystery box. I'll just make it another horror one-off. Why not? Can I interact with the fish? I can't go down. Can't. I guess I go to the right? Or do I head to the left? Wait, am I? Yeah, I'm in scuba gear. Descend deeper into the abyss. Deeper and deeper and deeper. All this stuff looks really cool. Yeah, like, I don't know what it is, like, Well, I know what it is. The first part of the game is just like, haha, here's a JPEG face. It's spooky and scary, and it's on screen at all times. And now it's doing cooler stuff, and I like this. I feel like this game really made some bad first impressions. I guess I go in this thing, whatever it is. Some kind of machine. Is that the dad? I think that's the dad. Drain water and remove diving gear. Sure. This is like an underwater little base. It's cool. There goes the dad. He floated down here. Wow, this part looks really cool. I really kind of wish like they did more like exploration with these different dreams, like require you to collect items and stuff, because there are some cool sights here. Read logbook. Captain, what now there's suddenly stuff like this? Captain Theodore Felding, September 2nd, 2007. One of my biggest fears is deep water. Ironic when you consider the fact I'm now working on a mining station thousands of feet underwater in the Marina Trench. I've always wondered why I was afraid, and I reached a simple conclusion. The true fear presented here is actually going down beneath the surface into the depths. It's a combination of all our most common fears. I fear of the dark, or one fear of the dark. When you're at the bottom of a body of water, you can't see anything. It's pitch black. Have you ever tried to swim as far down a lake as you can? It gets really dark and cold really fast, about 10 feet down. But even that's nothing compared to the deepest point on the entire crust of the Earth, located at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean. The Mariana Trench, which is 38k plus feet. If you put Mount Everest at the bottom of the trench, the top of the mountain will still be over a mile below the surface of the ocean. Everything below you is complete darkness, and this definitely plays into our collective fear of the dark. Jesus Christ, man, you're gonna go insane writing this. 2. Fear of suffocating. Alright, I guess I'm reading this. Have you ever gotten to the point where you swam down too far in the swimming pool and you seriously consider the fact you might not make it back to the top where you ran out of breath? If you've ever been roughhousing as a kid with blankets and pillows and you accidentally got pinned down inside of a sleeping bag or something, you get that point where laughter temporarily turns to screaming. You know what a scary concept not being able to breathe is. Even if you have a scuba gear with you down here in that deep dark abyss, there's a chance a valve could pop out or you could run out of oxygen. You can't see, and you can't really take a deep breath. Could it get worse? Yes. 3. Fear of the unknown. There are over 1 million species of creatures in the ocean, and scientists estimate there are an additional 9 million species yet to be discovered. That means we only even know what 11% of the creatures in the ocean are. Most of the beings in the ocean are things mankind has never even seen or heard of. Who knows what could be down there? Think about the time when you were walking in a dimly lit basement trying to find something. All of a sudden, something brushes up against the back of your neck. They become airborne, similar to a frightened cat. And instantly turn around and shine their flashlight to see what it is. It's never anything actually scary. But in deep water, it's always something scary. It's dark, you can barely breathe, and something just touched you and you have no idea where they went. But there is more to fear, I'm afraid. Fear of flying insects. Imagine that you're walking along, all the beetles and scorpions crawling along the ground, and huge black hairy spiders are hidden from view in the cracks, and slimy worms and snakes that are burrowed beneath the ground simultaneously started flying anywhere they wanted. That's what the bottom of the sea without water would be like for the strange creatures underwater. There is no up or down. Even the manliest men, even though they appear to be calm, quickly tense up and become filled with secret fear that the bug might land on their eyeball or fly into their mouth. And that's why men try so hard to kill them. Unfortunately, in deep water, you can't see any of the undiscovered, freakish flying creatures that brush past your body as you grasp at your suffocating throat. Fear of being caught. Imagine you're running from a bear. You will be eaten if you are caught, and it doesn't help that bears can run faster sideways than the fastest human can run. Can they really? That sounds like an exaggeration. Can run forward. When you're at the bottom of the sea, everything that is around you was built to move in water. If something truly frightening like a shark or giant squid caught sight of you, That's the wrong word there, mister. You're not a real scholar. You can turn the other way and flail all about all you want, but the monster will catch up with you in a split second. You can't get away from anything. Even if you had the wherewithal to... The wherewithal? To see and breathe, you couldn't run from danger. It would simply find and devour you. There are a lot of places that I would want to be, such as trapped in a burning house or alone in the vacuum of space. But in the burning house, at least I can see, and in space, at least there aren't any creatures that could get me. That's what you say. There are no other places in the universe that combine as many common fears as 7 miles below the surface of the Pacific Ocean. It is because of the combination of all these 3 fears that I am so horrified by deep water. Okay, well that sounds like a setup to a better game. Okay, that was kind of a... Wow, we spent on that, wasn't it? Oh, those are cool. Okay, yeah, we're just in the water again. Is it really necessary to have that much text, though? There's the bed on the right there. I'm being pulled deep below the surface. Like, I feel like this whole underwater base thing, it could have been much more expansive. All those little entries could have been, like, you know, shortened and, like, spread apart, and would have made for a more impactful moment, I'd say. That's just my opinion, anyway. What if it was asleep? It hadn't so much as breathed since I woken up. Perhaps it was resting, believing that it finally got me. That I was finally in its grasp. Or perhaps it was toying with me after all it had been doing just that for countless nights. And now with me under it. Wait. Oh, under it, yeah. Pinned against my mattress with no mother to protect me. Maybe it was holding off. Savoring its victory until the last possible moment, like a wild animal savoring its prey. I tried to breathe as shallowly as possible, and mustering every ounce of courage I could. I reached over slowly with my right hand and began to peel the blanket off me. What I found under those covers almost stopped my heart. I did not see it, but as my hand moved the blanket, it brushed against something. Something smooth and cold, something which felt unmistakably like a gaunt hand. I held my breath in terror, as I was sure it must now have known that I was awake. Nothing. It did not stir, it felt dead. After a few moments, I placed my hand carefully further down the blanket and felt a thin, poorly formed forearm. My confidence, an almost twisted sense of curiosity, grew as I moved further to a disproportionately larger bicep muscle. The arm was outstretched, lying across my chest, with the hand resting on my left shoulder as if it had grabbed me in my sleep. I realized that I would have to move this cadaverous appendage if I even so much as hoped to escape its grasp. For some reason, the feeling of torn, ragged clothing on the shoulder of this nighttime invader stopped me in my tracks. Fear once again swelled in my stomach and my chest as I recoiled my hand in disgust at the touch of the straggled, oily hair. I could not bring myself to touch its face, although I wonder to this very day what it would have felt like. Dear God, it moved. It moved, you say. Title drop? Chapter 7. Hostia? That's what it says. Wait, that can't be a lowercase I. The rest of them are capital letters. I don't know. Save? Sure. Oh yeah, this is most certainly just its own upload now. This is not going in the next episode of the Mystery Box. Oh, problem. Whenever I try to record an episode of that, I always end up with games that are too long for it. And defeats the whole purpose of the Mystery Box. Oh hey, disembodied body. Hey, that's a fleshy hole. Let's enter it. I wonder what this is a metaphor for. You look like the annoying orange, but like horrifically. The terrifying orange is what I'm gonna call you. The last enemy that shall be destroyed is death. Care to tell me more, mister? That's an annoying noise. Let's get out of here. Hey! What kind of Pokemon is that? This is, yeah, this is some cool sights. I can't believe this is the same game. That looks like the same head that was used in that pool section. I really like that background as well. This, like, I can't believe this is the same game that had, like, just like the JPEG face on screen earlier in such a lazy way. It's like, come on. Hey! Room for another person in that hot tub? Let's go up here. What's the matter? You got a problem with me going that way? Okay, fine. I'll go this way. Guess they want me to go back. Hey! This isn't where I was. Who are you? Okay, you do your thing, I guess. I'm gonna... Dang it, I can't go anywhere. I gotta listen to you play your tune, don't I? Oh no! Noises! Guys, I'm scared. Oh my god, you guys, I'm so scared. I'm so scared. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, so I can do more spooky games. Oh my god, you guys, something's gonna happen. Oh god, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Oh my god, what was that? Did you see that? Oh my god. Oh my god. This game. Anyways, that's enough of that. It moved. It was subtle, but its grip on my shoulder and across my body strengthened. No tears came, but God, how I wanted to cry. And its hand and arm slowly coiled around me. My left leg brushed along the cool wall which the bed lay against. Of all that happened to me in that room, that was the strangest. Really? Oh my goodness! That's a legitimately kind of freaky sight. I realized that this clutching rancid thing, which drew great delight from violating a young boy's bed, was not entirely on top of me. It was sticking out from the wall, like a spider striking from its lair. Suddenly, its grip moved from a slow tightening to a sudden squeeze. It pulled and clawed at my clothes as if frightened that the opportunity would soon pass. I fought against it, but its emaciated arm was too strong for me. Its head rose up, writhing and contorting under the blanket. I now realized where it was taking me. Into the wall. I fought for my dear life. I cried, and suddenly my voice returned to me. Yelling, screaming, but no one came. Then I realized why I was so eager to suddenly strike, why this thing had to have me now. Through my window, the window which seemed to represent so much malice from outside, streaked hope, the first rays of sunshine. I struggled further, knowing that if I could just hold on, it would soon be gone. I fought for my life. The unearthly parasite shifted, slowly pulling itself up my chest. Its head now poking out from under the blanket, wheezing, coughing, rasping. I do not remember its features. I simply remember its breath against my face, foul and cold as ice. As the sun broke over the horizon, that dark place, that suffocating room of contempt, was washed, bathed in sunlight. I passed out as its scrawny fingers encircled my neck, squeezing the very life from me. That's not very good. That's not very good at all for you, son. I woke to my father offering to make me some breakfast. A wonderful sight indeed. I had survived the most horrible experience of my life until then, and now I moved the bed away from the wall, leaving behind the furniture I had believed would stop the thing from taking a bed. Little did I think it would try to take mine, and me. Weeks passed without incident. Yet on one cold, frostbitten night, I awoke to the sound of the furniture where the bunk beds used to be, vibrating violently. I lay there, sure I could hear a distant wheezing coming from deep within the wall, finally fading into the distance. The following year, I was given a larger room on the other side of the house, and my parents took the room as their bedroom. They said they didn't need a large room, just one big enough for a bed and a few things. They lasted 10 days. We moved on the 11th. Okay. It's kind of an abrupt conclusion. It Moves, a game by Snow Owl. Okay. Music by those people. I mean, they do good music, I'll give them that. So, I guess I'll give my thoughts on this. So, yeah, definitely. We reached the hour mark. Here I was thinking that, based on the story Bedtime by Michael Whitehouse. Hey, I know that writer. Playtesting by Optical Mouse. Okay, so this was based on a short story. I've read some of Michael Whitehouse's stories before. They're actually really good. I remember those from back in the day. There's also some creepypasta narrators that I believe read some of their stuff. Is that it? The spooky stuff. Okay. I guess if they're working off of source material, I still think they could have expanded things to make it a bit like really take advantage of using their medium like as a game. And no, let me give a proper critique here. So yeah, I think like the gameplay sections, they were just too short. Like nothing could really hurt you. It was just like an on-rails haunted house. And you can quickly pick up on that, and after that, there's just no point to it. Like, they didn't have to... I don't think there needed to be much, but there could have been points where, like, you know, you had to find... Even the basic stuff, like, oh, find the key item, use it here to advance a little bit. Give you at least a few rooms in each area, in each dream sequence that lets you, pardon me. That, like, you know, takes advantage of the fact that, you know, this is told in the form of a game. It only seems to just go for the visual aspect of that. Which to be fair, there were a lot of cool visuals in this game. Like that one part at the start with the creepy face just plastered on screen. It's just so... That's the kind of stuff I expect from, like, Little Timmy's first Slender game. The only thing missing was a T-pose monster chasing me. But overall, I did like this. I felt like there's a lot of parts where, like, I feel like... And let me put it this way. I think what I dislike about this game is that it could have been amazing with what's here. Like, the story's good, visuals look cool, but I feel like it just needed to be more of a game, and it could have been really, really cool and terrifying. But like, it's so easy to pick up on what's going on at the start, and it just kind of it just kind of killed all sense of dread at the beginning. But I did like the writing with it as well. Like, the strongest way to make things horrifying is, you know, like fear of the unknown, and like over time we do learn more about that horrific monster, but like we still don't know enough about it that it's still creepy and terrifying. Like, especially at the end, where, like, the twist is that, like, it was coming out of the wall, which, you know, that's cool. That was something I didn't see coming. But yeah, I do think this is pretty cool, but I feel like the whole thing just, like, could have been so much more amazing with what's here. And I don't know. But anyways, I guess tell me what you think. Like, well, it's gonna be awkward now, because, like, I start the episode with, like, hey guys, welcome to the Jabba Damazo Mystery Box! That's what I get for just skipping doing an intro like I normally would, but alright. We'll just count it as free advertising for the Jabba Damazo Mystery Box. Go watch that if you want. Maybe that playlist will be down below. But yeah, this was a fun little one-off to do. Definitely, like, yeah, definitely enjoyed it, but I just want so much more from it, and it bugs me because I feel like it really could have given so much more. But anyway, that's my 2 cents. That's it for now. Have a good night. Bye-bye.